everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a team that moves the ball well. The Rams are top 10 in first downs, and they'll be up against a Cowboys team that wants to be able to control the pace. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Well, Larry, there's a new stadium set to open in Inglewood in 2019, but for now, we're in the heart of the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded at the 6. A beautiful fake. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
While in college, quarterback teams that improved their win total from 1 his freshman year to 5 his sophomore year to 8 his junior year. Love that type of improvement. Love that type of diligence.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Second down, 9 yards to go. On second down, here's Goff. He's got time. And a catch made by Kenny Britt. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
When I watched Jared Goff on tape at Cal, I saw a guy who wasn't just a dart thrower. You know, a lot of people said, he's perfect for the West Coast offense. I always thought he could do a little bit more, and that was the reason why. He can push it downfield. He has a good, strong arm.
On first down, it's Gurley. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Here's Goff now on second down. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Tyrone Crawford coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. First and 10, Romo. And his throw here is incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Second and 10. Romo once more. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On first down, Romo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Back to the air they go. Romo on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're up in the red zone this time. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
A give to Elliott. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Back to throw. Romo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Let's go. 180.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Time running out here on the play clock. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score.
They flipped the field, essentially. And that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. That's exactly what they accomplished.
And they accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around?
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
On first down, it's gone. Caught here left side by Brett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They come out here in the eye.
Boom, landed. Detroit.
Now a play fake here on first down. Deep drop. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On first down, it's Romo. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a gain of 21 that time. And that leads to a Dallas first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's Romo going right side. He has Witten. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Get ready.
On first down. Romo. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. That's connection numero uno. Tony Romo going to Desmond DeMond Bryant.
And how about the chemistry those two have built up over the years? You know, everybody always sees Dez as being so demonstrative on the sidelines, like he's upset about things. He just wants his quarterback to know he wants the ball, and he's going to make plays for him.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Romo. And he rifles one incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. Now Romo on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And what do you think goes on trailing? You're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Right there. 50.
Goff on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And complete on the right side to Bennett. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
3rd and 2, Goff. Finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They go play action here on first down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Here's Romo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight. And we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On 2nd and 10, Romo. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. Complete to Jason Witten. And they get 14 yards there at a first down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
The give is to Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. A tackle that time by William Hayes.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Romo now on 2nd down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So they're operating in the red zone.
Now let's go.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Here's Goff. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon LaFell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now here come the Cowboys. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 2nd down now after the pass completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
Bryant spread out to the right. They fake the give to Elliott. Now Romo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, Romo. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Holding, defense.
And you, as a former defender, should know that the referees are watching this closely, defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys, but in this case, they were strict with the rule.
Now a 1st down throw, Romo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Second and 10. Romo once more. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. 10 yards to go on third. The play fake for Elliott. Now Romo. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
I know that in recent years, it's been tough on Tony Romo. A lot of injuries have piled up, but he's still able to sling it, Brandon. Look at that throw.
Yeah, he can. By the way, you know his given name on his birth certificate?
Hit me.
Antonio Ramiro Romo.
That fool's
He's got a good ring, so I'm going to start calling him Antonio.
The lyrical one.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. And the 8th play on this drive coming. Again, we'll see the pistol here. To throw on second down is Romo. Going right side, he has Witten. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Always good to see Romo go back to his old staple, Witten.
There's no better friend for any quarterback than a really trusted tight end. You stand to great sight lines for the most part, passes right in front, able to deliver, and Tony Romo and Witten, they have a special connection.
54. Here we go.
First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Get ready.
On second down, here's Romo. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Goff. Surveying the field. Dumps it off to Gurley. Whoosh. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Goff. Caught left side, Bennett. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Partner, we saw him struggle last week. We're seeing him struggle again this week. We talked about it after last week's game, the type of coverage he was seeing. I think I'm seeing very similar blueprint.
That's what I was going to ask you. How often, when you see this back-to-back weeks, is it a defensive coordinator saying, hey, I'm just going to steal what that guy did?
And that's the best way to go about it. Don't try and become original each and every week. If it's working, use it. Put it into your game plan until they defeat it. And so far, that hasn't happened. Excellent coverage, knocking him off his timing. He can't get into his routes the way he wants to. And so far, the defense is winning.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. To throw is gone. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon LaFell, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Love the excitement we've got going here. They just scored the touchdown. They're down by 1. How much fun is it now to figure out the possibilities? Kick the extra point and tie it. Go for 2 if they're really feeling in a gambling mood. What do you do in this situation?
I think you kick the PAT.
Yeah, I do too. Kick it, get my defense ready, and try and stop them one more time.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And quickly, they get to the line. Now it's Romo. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And he is enjoying another fine performance just like a week ago. I mean, let's be honest, when he's playing like this, it creates a lot of matchup nightmares.
And it really does, because it creates a ton of headaches. You try to design...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Romo now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Romo now to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Romo going right side. He has Witten. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
Here's Romo to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And this is going to be incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop. They're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here. He'll look to throw. He's got time. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And a right side completion here by LaFell. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's always interesting to watch a player fight his own instincts because when you're a ball carrier, you're taught to fight for every inch, every yard. But in this situation, the smart play.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And he'll take this across the 25, and here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked out all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that was something they did.